Hi everyone, my name is Bastien Quirion. I'm a full professor at the Department of Criminology and I'm teaching in the French program. And I'm also the contact person with the Ordre professionnel des criminologues du Québec, known as the OPCQ. Welcome to this information session, a session which is intended for all students registered to the honors in criminology at the University of Ottawa. I'll be sharing here a large amount of information, so I'm inviting you to listen carefully. Since this session has been recorded in advance, I won't be available to answer your questions, but at the end of the session, I'll be providing answer to the questions that have been asked more frequently. Since 2015, criminologists who are now required to obtain a professional permit or a license to practice some form of intervention in the province of Quebec. It's not the case in Ontario and other province, so all the information I'll be providing will be applying only to the province of Quebec. The organization who is in charge of delivering those permits is the Ordre professionnel des criminologues du Québec, for now the OPCQ. The objective of today's session are twofold. First, to present the requirements of the OPCQ in regard to the delivery of the permit. And secondly, more specifically, to explain what are the academic requirements for students who are completing the program at U of Ottawa. So, need first to explain what is the role of the OPCQ. In Quebec, there is a professional system at the level of the province, which mission is to regulate the practice of different professions. Please note that the content of the presentation is only applying to the situation in the province of Quebec. The objective of the professional order is to protect the public, which means criminalized and vulnerable person, against any professional activity that can generate a risk of prejudice, such as evaluation and intervention. In order to protect the public, professional orders are applying measures to make sure that practitioners who are conducting those activities are competent and had received an adequate academic training. A license or a permit is now required in the province of Quebec to engage in certain professional activities known as activités réservées in French. The existence of the OPCQ is based on the recognition of a certain number of practices that are strictly restricted to holders of a professional permit. The government of Quebec has established a list of professional activities that are restricted to the holders of a professional permit. For criminologists, those restricted activities are shared with other professions, such as social workers. Those reserved activities are mostly about the evaluation of criminalized and vulnerable people, but also about the elaboration of the intervention plan. To be able to practice those professional activities in Quebec, this is very important. A permit from the OPCQ or any other professional order is now required. There's a list of reserved activities for criminologists, which you can see now on the screen. Those activities which are mainly about the assessment of juvenile and people in vulnerable situation, and also the activity of elaborating an intervention plan for very vulnerable people. It's very important to understand that it's still possible for any graduate student in criminology to work in the province of Quebec without the permit, okay? But that permit is strictly required for those who are working in very specific field or specific area of intervention in criminology, area in which those reserve activities are carried out. You might want to know which field or of practice are regulated by the OPCQ. So first, here is the list of the fields that are already regulated by the OPCQ, for which a professional permit is now required. In the field that is under the governance of what we call in Quebec, le ministère de la Santé et des Services Sociaux, so the Department of Health and the Social Services, which recover the field of mental health, addiction, and when you're working in youth justice. There's also some organization in victimology, such as the CAVAX, who are doing some evaluation with victims, and all the probation services are also part of that field. There's also the fields that are not currently regulated by the OPCQ, but that could be in the future. This could change in the years to come. There's in that field, there's the correctional services, both at the level of the province, but also the federal correctional services. There's most of the community organization we have in Quebec, and also certain some organization in victimology. I'm thinking about the CALAX, who are doing mostly jobs in regard to prevention and activists, public activists in regard to victimology. And there's also the fields that will never be regulated by the OPCQ because they don't involve any clinical activities. Those fields are policy analysis, prevention, and teaching and research in criminology. So, what is the procedure for obtaining the permit? There's two procedures for obtaining a permit as a criminologist. The first one, which is more important, more relevant for students who are in our program, which is the recognition of training, which is the recognition of the academic background. To get the permit, you need to complete a diploma in criminology, and the OPCQ is recognizing three universities who are providing those diploma in criminology. Those are the University of Ottawa, University of Montréal, and l'Université Laval, which is in Quebec City. For the University of Ottawa, the honors in criminology with the field placement and intervention is required. We'll see later that some conditions are applying. And it's important to understand that a master is not recognized by itself for the permit unless it is combined with the honors in criminology. There's also another procedure, which is the recognition of equivalencies. This is for those who might have graduated from programs that are not recognized by the OPCQ. So, for instance, from other disciplines or outside the province of Quebec, and also for those who might have a combination of practical and training experience. I'm thinking about some practitioners who have many years of intervention as an experience with those people. So it could be recognized as an equivalency to get access to the permit. What is the academic and the training that is required from the OPCQ if we're looking at UFO? So what are the basic requirements? There's two diploma that are recognized by the OPCQ at UFO. The first one is the honors in criminology, but there's also the joint honors in criminology and women's studies. In both cases, those diploma have to be complete with the supervised field placement in criminological intervention. So that's a very important component of the requirements. You have to complete a field placement in intervention, which means when we talk about criminological intervention, it means that students have been in contact as part of the field placement with criminalized or vulnerable person. Okay, that's very important. And it's important also to understand that to be admitted to the field placement, you must submit an application for a change from the course stream option to the field placement options. So the requests have to be submit during the first semester of the third year in the program before mid-December. So that's the only way to be admitted into the field placement is to be admitted into the field placement option. There's also a more specific condition that I'll also require for students from UFO. It's depending on the year you have been admitted for the first time in the honors program. So if to be sorry to be eligible, okay, to the OPCQ, uh, the students from U of Ottawa must respect a specific condition that are different according to their cycle of admission into the honors. So all information regarding the agreement is available on the website of the Department of Criminology. So I'm inviting you to consult that site to fully understand the conditions that apply. For those who are attending this session, I'm presuming that you all start into the program after fall 2017. This means that the conditions that are applying are the one specific to the 2017-2018 cycle of admission and following. So if you're going on the site, you just have to click on that cycles, the 2017-2018 cycle of admission, and then you'll get access to all the conditions that are applying to your specific case. To obtain a permit, the students must satisfy the following condition. That's very important. First, to get an honors in criminology or the joint honors in criminology and women's study with the field placement option. I already mentioned that, but it's important to keep that in mind. But you also have to complete 60 criminology credits to satisfy satisfy the following equivalency. So if you are going to look on the website of the department, you'll see a list of courses that have to be complete if the student want to get access to the permit from the OPCQ. So it's very important to take a look at that list. It's also very important that to understand that it's your responsibility as a student to make sure you are registering to all courses that are required by the OPCQ. Many courses on the list are already compulsory courses for the honors program, but there are also many courses that are optional for the honors. So you have to make sure you are picking the right course while completing this selection of course each year. Okay. Once you have successfully complete the program, you'll be receiving your graduation certificate, your diploma, and your transcript in which all courses that have been complete will be listed. You will then be able to submit those documents to the OPCQ and to apply for the professional permit. That's also important. If you want to apply for the OPCQ permit, you need to be to graduate first. You can apply only after the graduation from the undergrad study program. Okay. Before ending the information session, let me provide some response from a few questions that are usually asked by students about the OPCQ. The first question is the following. Who is responsible for evaluating if I am eligible to become a member of the ordre of the OPCQ? The only organization that can evaluate your request for a license of practice is the OPCQ. So you cannot ask the department or the Faculty of Social Sciences to evaluate those requests. You need to contact directly the OPCQ in regard to that procedure. Another question is the following. Can I find my own placement, my field placement, to receive credits from the University of Ottawa? The response is no. Only students who have been admitted in the honor in criminology and be admitted to the field placement option can complete that field placement, and that's the only way to receive university credit for the placement. So if you're not admitted into that option, it's not possible to complete your field placement at the University of Ottawa. Another question that is frequently asked, are places reserved for students to register in the field placement option in those courses that are required by the OR? No. It is therefore very important to register for those courses as soon as you can, but I can assure you that in most cases, students don't have any problem to get all the courses that are on the list. You just have to make sure that each time you are registering at each semester, you make sure that you go and choose the course that are on the list, which is available on the website of the department. And finally, a last question. Can I register to courses that are required by the OD without first being admitted to the program in criminology? Yes, it is possible. It is possible to take, for instance, if you already complete the diploma and you are missing some course to be admitted into the Art Professionnel, you can take those courses only if spots are available in the course and that you have complete all the prerequisites for that course. Uh, in that case, you will have to apply to as a special students, okay? But it's also important to know that it is, of course, not applying to the field placement, which are restricted to student being admitted to the field placement option, just as I just mentioned. Okay, so finally, for more information about the OPCQ, I'm inviting you to check directly with representative of the OPCQ through their website. And if you are looking for information about our program at uOttawa, you can, of course, contact the supervisor of undergrad study in criminology at the following email. Thank you very much.